Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. It always has been, but it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekly morning show where we bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about the massive breakout that is happening right now on Bitcoin. If you haven't already seen, which, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Of course, you've seen this. Bitcoin rallied all the way up to a new all-time high last night, up here around $118,000, $118,900. This is a massive breakout that we're witnessing right now on Bitcoin. We watched a major breakout play out right here last night. I actually watched this last night. You can see some of the analysis I was doing and trading on this last night. We saw that there was a bull flag here. We had one last fake out. We built a big, fancy, nice cup and handle formation. Bitcoin rallied all the way up to 118,000. Now, you know, the funny thing is, we actually called Bitcoin going to $118,000 yesterday. If you're watching yesterday's stream, we said, because, you know, Bitcoin has a tendency to kind of do everything all at once, 23 hours ago, not even 24 hours ago, we posted this chart. Bitcoin at the time was trading at about $111,000. We said that a possible breakout of 112,000 will occur between the 15th of July and the 31st of July, or sooner. And then in the month of August, Bitcoin is going to rally all the way up to between $118,000 and $125,000. Massive breakout that we were predicting. Well, it happened in less than 24 hours after we posted that. We had a lot of people saying, Jeb, what about this? What about that? I'm like, okay, we need to make it very clear what our prediction is. You sound like you stayed up all night, Jeb. I was up for quite a while. Who else did that with me? I was up till, I probably wasn't up as long as you guys were. I was up until about 1 a.m. last night trading this. Tell me, how were you guys doing? Did you guys stay up late and trade this? It was a lot of fun. It was a big old just rocket, just straight up, just boom. And the chart was so easy too. I mean, if you look at this, come on, you can't tell me that that's not a just obvious inverse head and shoulders pattern. Obvious cup and handle formation. You're coming up here, you're testing the level of resistance. You got a little bit of a breakout right there. You got the uptrending level of support. You got the Lux algo coming in very bullish here on the 15-minute. Where's that 15-minute? Where are we? Here we are. You got the Lux algo coming in very bullish here on the 15-minute. We got that buy signal coming in. It was so painfully obvious. You know, we had our price targets up towards 130. Just made a lot of sense. But the thing that I'm kind of encouraged by last night about what happened yesterday was that Bitcoin is actually starting to slow down. We're slowing down and kind of consolidating. You know, we're in blue sky breakout, price discovery mode. I don't think we're done with this leg up, but what I like to see here is that Bitcoin's kind of slowing down a little bit, because as Bitcoin gets further and further away from its now previous all-time high at 112, oops, sorry. You don't want to look at my ugly mug, do you? Do you? No, you don't. You want to look at the chart. As Bitcoin gets further and further away from its previous all-time high at 112, how crazy is that to say? The previous all-time high at 112. Man, that thing is just, look at the way our award, it's just shining like crazy. Let's turn that a little bit. You know, blind you guys. There we go. That's a little better. The way that we rallied past 112 yesterday, we've rallied so far so fast that it's almost a little bit difficult to rationalize going into a high leverage long again, because Bitcoin's gone so far. You're like, my goodness, where's the corrective movement? Okay. And I think that's going to end up happening at some point. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that Bitcoin is done with this rally. We can see here from the RSI that the last major rally that we rallied all the way up to 108,000, happened almost all at once. We saw RSI hit 84. Before that, here in February of 2024, we saw RSI hit 80, right? So I don't think Bitcoin is done here. We're at 73. What we're most likely witnessing is the second stage of the rally that we've been calling. We were doing some ultra long-term technical analysis on Bitcoin, and one of the most obvious things that we could see is that there was this big fat bull flag right here, and that big bull flag gives us a very lovely price target all the way up towards $150,000. It's kind of the biggest thing we want to point out here today is that price target at 140 to 150K, we're not there yet. And so what I'm very excited about is the fact that, we've got an inordinate amount of money in Bitcoin. I mean, talk to any financial advisor, they're going to say, Jeb, you're freaking crazy for having that much money in Bitcoin because oh my goodness, let me do the math. I know the numbers in my head. We got that much Bitcoin. That's our net worth. Yeah, about 80% of our net worth is in Bitcoin. Yeah, and then about another 5 to 10% is in altcoins, and another 5 to 10% is in the U.S. stock market as well. So got a little bit of diversification there, but I've been going all in on Bitcoin. You guys know this. I mean, we started daily dollar cost averaging back in December. Been doing that. I stopped daily dollar cost averaging for a while because I was just buying in lump sums 10 times faster than the daily DCA was happening anyway. We put hundreds of thousands of dollars into Bitcoin. I mean, some of you guys out there, you're like, I'm going to go buy a fancy car and show off. I'm going to show off how much Bitcoin we bought. Like that's the thing I'm proud of. Your car goes down in value. Your Lambo, you just lost 50 grand the minute you drove it off the lot. My Bitcoin, some of our investments are up 50% in the last 4 months. Oh my goodness. People are out here fading Bitcoin. It's ridiculous. Are you kidding me? You're knocking Bitcoin? Oh my goodness, you just want to stay poor, don't you? Bitcoin is the future. It is the best thing that has ever happened to money in the history of the world. I'm so happy to be trading it. I'm so happy to be investing in it. But today I also want to talk a little bit about some altcoins because we've got some fun things going on in altcoins. And I'm very excited about this because it's not just that I've only invested in Bitcoin pretty much all year that has led to my alt bag being such a small portion of our portfolio. It also has to do with the fact that the altcoins have just underperformed. The year of 2025 has been apocalyptic for the alts. But we do have a nice, handsome rally coming in here. Ethereum is finally doing well. It's up towards $3,000. If we can break through $3,000, that's going to be very, very healthy. If we could get some kind of inverse head and shoulders pattern, however wonky it is building here, you can see Ethereum going to $4,000 or $5,000. We'll kind of do a quick overview of some of these alts, and then we'll look more in here on them. Solana not having a big rally, but Solana's time hasn't come yet. It's coming, though. It's coming. Bitcoin takes the cake. Whenever there's a big rally going on, Bitcoin starts, and then the altcoins follow. The altcoins are going to have their day, but that day's not yet. Bitcoin is large and in charge right now. Bitcoin is the one that everybody's watching, and this inverse head and shoulders pattern is just getting started. I got a question for you guys. Should I go put like $25,000 into like a 3 or a 4x, maybe 5x long, and just hold it? Or do you think it's a little bit too late to do that? What do you guys think? I'm tempted to just go do that. Just get like $200,000 open in open interest in a leverage long and just hold it for like a month. What are you guys doing? Are you guys doing that? Like some lower leverage, longer term plays? You're going to hold that trade for a few months. I really think that might be a good thing to do because this inverse head and shoulders pattern, guys, it just got started breaking out. I mean, if you look out here to the longer term, you could see a back test down to 110. We talked about that. In fact, in our call that we posted yesterday, we saw a large breakout above 112 likely. And then I also said a possible back test of the current all-time high. That's so funny. This is 24 hours ago, and the current all-time high at that time was 112. Is possible after a breakout to bull flag price target of $115,000 from the 1 hourly chart. We've already blown past 115K, so that makes 112 look a little bit stranger, but it still is very much possible. It's not that far south. So here's my thing. What I love to do is that since I have investments, down here and down here and down here and down here, every time Bitcoin sets a new all-time high, that just locks in these investments as even better entries. $108,000 seemed like a dumb place to go into a trade. It seemed like a dumb place to go into a trade over the last not in a trade, I'm sorry, into an investment over the last couple of months. But I also saw, hey, Bitcoin's going to go to 120, 130, 140, 150, and that's going to look like a great entry. So if Bitcoin drops back down here to back test this level of support, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to buy some more in this area, and then that's also where I might go into that kind of 3, 4, 5x just long trade and just hold it for a couple of months. Just see if we can, double or triple our money by getting in on a 10, 15, 20% movement over the course of the next couple of months. That's what I'd be looking at here. So tell me what you think about that. If we have a corrective movement back down to this neckline right here, which is very common, happens all the time. You have a little bitty drop back test, strong bounce, break the all-time high, and then you move on. It looks like a green, red, green formation on the weekly chart at that point. That's where we might consider doing some of that. For now, we're just kind of trading the volatility down here and really enjoying the gains on the overall portfolio. All right, let's read a little bit of chat. I really appreciate you guys for being here today. Couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited about everything. That shirt is fire. Need me one? Yeah, love this shirt. Got to rep Bitcoin. You know, come on. Come on, guys. We got to rep Bitcoin. You know, we got the Bitcoin tie, right? Just sitting down here on the floor because I'm nice and organized. Got the Bitcoin tie. Got to have the Bitcoin. There we go. Ooh, that looks good. Except for the fact it's a short sleeve shirt and I look like a Mormon again. Who was in the stream yesterday and saw that? That was, would you like to hear about, you know, going out recruiting. Love watching the guys who call the top and the start of the bear market squirm right now. Jeb knows his stuff. Yeah, no, it's not the start of the bear market. That's complete freaking nonsense. I've been telling you since January we were going to 120. And we had that. And I also told you that we were going to drop to 74 first. And would you like to know the evidence of how I said that? You can go back and see it in the channel, but I'll also evidence it by this. I stacked up like $200,000 of cash in January, waiting for the drop down to 73, and then I dumped it all in at between 73 and 100. Like dumped most of our cash in, and then after 100, I had another 40 or 50,000 that we put in, and then just revenue. At that point, we were just dumping revenue in that 100,000 to 110 range that we just left. And so that's what we're doing now, just dumping revenue into Bitcoin. Gonna start as we get higher, I'll start stacking up cash again to get the next entry. But I bought multiple Bitcoin down there. You know, I'm very happy about it. And so, I mean, the reason that we do technical analysis is because we want to understand where the market's going so that we can make good trades. And more importantly than even good trades, good investments. And so, best thing I can ever recommend you to do is take a portion of your income, dump it into Bitcoin. If you want to learn more, then I do highly recommend learning how to trade. And by the way, you should definitely check out our trading partner here, which is Toobit. Guys, I've been loving Toobit. I was doing some trading last night on Toobit. What an intuitive interface. What an intuitive interface. Toobit. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how to make that work, but what an intuitive interface, right? What an intuitive interface. Very easy trading experience. Very easy to get in and out of trades. Really quick. Good charting. You know, it was a very pleasant experience to be trading on Toobit last night. I'm sitting there like a bump on a log in bed. My wife went to bed. I'm sitting there on my laptop, you know, right here on this one. Sitting there doing my thing. I got a little, you know, this is how much I love trading and whatnot and video games. You know, my wife got me for Christmas this little laptop. It's not a laptop, but it's a laptop for your laptop, right? It's a little desk thing that sits on your lap. And then it's got a little thing that pokes out that you can put your mouse on, a little mouse pad. So I got my laptop, I got my mouse, my 15-button gamer mouse. I've had this mouse for 10 years. You want to talk about a product that lasts a while? Oh my goodness, I've had this thing since I was in high school. You know, I was sitting there trading last night. What a good experience. I had so much fun. Guys, definitely sign up for Toobit if you haven't already. Loving trading over there. Really a lot of fun. So make sure that you sign up for Toobit. If you do, you can get a $50 registration bonus. A bunch of you guys have already signed up for it. You can get a $50 registration bonus, and you can also sign up, and if you trade $1,000, you're going to get $50 also, because you'll double that. And if you deposit $100, you'll also get $30 back. Oh, and you know what? While we're at it, let's just take another like 1-2 minutes, and then we'll get back into some technical analysis, because I know that's what you're here for. But I also want to check this out. Look at this. Look at this. We just had somebody sign up for our trading group. Guys, if you didn't know, we decided to start a trading group. I told you I wanted to do this. We have now done it. We have now launched the first cohort trading group. Make sure to check it out. It's very new. We're doing a lot of build out in there. It's going to take a couple of weeks to get it all structured the exact way that we like it. Sorry about that. There's some vacuuming going on in the other room. But it is live. And so we're going to be posting all my trade setups over there, all my wisdom. I'm going to be sharing all that stuff with you guys. Like I said, is really new, but we're getting it started. I'm really excited about it. If you check out the link in the description box down below, I got a real simple sales page here, guys. Like I said, I didn't want to wait a month and get this all fancy. We're going to get it all fancy. Don't worry about that. We're going to get some, you know, coders and everything on this, get some web design going on over here. But for now, if you come and enroll in the course, let me just make sure I'm gonna click this button, make sure that, yeah, if you come and enroll in the course, you can sign up for the monthly subscription, it's $49 a month, or for the annual subscription, $419 a year. Either one of these, if you click it, let's just click annual subscription here, for example, enroll in course, Then you can come over here. I'm just going to make sure it's not showing any card information or anything. Yeah, let's go ahead and remove that before you guys try and steal more of my stuff. You know, people are trying to dox me and all kinds of crap. There we go. Can't see anything there. You can come over here and you can apply coupon code JEB20 to get 20% off at checkout, and you can get into our trading group for $335 a year. Or here's the other thing you can do, and this is why this goes with Toobit. If you sign up for Toobit, with our link, all you got to do to get 1 free year, I'll give you a free year in our trading group, is sign up for Toobit and deposit $100. All you got to do. Let us know what your UID is in Toobit. Let me see if I can find it here. Let me see if I can show you how to do this. All you got to do is show us what your ID is. I will check to make sure that you signed up and deposited $100 into Toobit, and I will give you a discount code to get into our trading group for a year for free. How's that for a deal, guys? That's all you got to do. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not going to show this on stream because it's got some private information, but you just kind of go to your profile. You can see your user identification and sign up. Do a $100 deposit on Toobit. Start trading over there, and I will give you personally a coupon code to get the annual subscription to our Discord server for free for a year. And I look forward to seeing you guys over there. Check those links out. They're in the description box down below. All right, let's do it. Man, people are really trolling me about this 92K correction. Joe Zeminski. I got like 5 of my biggest fans who are just trolling me. For the last, let's see, for the last 5 months, I've been saying Bitcoin was going to go to $118,000 to $125,000 in August to September. Now it looks like we're getting there in July, so great. We've front ran our own prediction. But one day, literally one day, we got the one day looking like a clown. I said that Bitcoin could go to 3 different levels: bear case $92,000, base case $95,000, bull case Bitcoin bounces between 98 and 100,000. After I said that, as a result of the Israeli-Iranian war, I said that that could happen as a result of the United States launching an attack on Natanz, Isfahan, and Fordo, the nuclear enrichment facilities in Iran. Trump did that. Then we went to my bull case, was Bitcoin dropped down to $98,500. I gave 3 cases, a bear case, bull case, bear case, base case, bull case. Ugh, tongue teaser, right? The bear case was 92 because there's a CME futures gap down there. I said it's unlikely that we'll go there, but that's in the cards. The base case was $95,000 because it splits the difference, and the bull case was we're going to hold in the zone around $100,000. The bull case happened, and because we only dropped down to 98.5 and bounced there, that is when I said we're forming the inverse head and shoulders pattern, and we're going to break through all-time high at $112,000 within a month to 2 months of us doing that because of how much bullishness Bitcoin showed. That was the exact call. And so, gotten misquoted on that quite a bit. Gotten quite a bit misquoted on that, but that's okay. That's all right. That's part of being on the internet. People aren't going to actually listen to what you're saying or the context. They're just going to take something that you say out of context and want to judge you for it. That's all right, though. Bitcoin right now has an all-time high at $118,800. And so we're very, very excited about that. But what I am noticing is Bitcoin is starting to its overall bullishness is starting to diminish. Bitcoin is trading sideways here a little while for a little bit, and we have set kind of this rounded top motion, and this is inevitable. This is literally inevitable because Bitcoin can't sustain this rate of appreciation for very long at all. I mean, if it did, we'd be at $200,000 by like next Friday. So Bitcoin obviously can't keep growing that fast forever. So Bitcoin has to flag out here. The question is when, and when is it going to flag out? What's that going to look like? If we look on the hourly chart, what you're going to notice is that Bitcoin is basically completing a breakout here of this rally right there. A breakout of this rally right there, right? That symmetrical triangle pattern is pointing all the way down to about $120,000, which was one of our first price targets, was 120K. Again, that's what we posted yesterday. Bitcoin's probably going to go to $120,000 right here. We even circled it right there. Bitcoin's probably going to go to $120,000. This was pinned to our Twitter yesterday. Bitcoin's probably going to go to between $119,000 to $120,000. And from that point in time, you're going to see Bitcoin possibly have a back test and then break even higher. And in fact, we basically just went straight to 118K. I was calling for 115, then a possible back test, then a break. But Bitcoin didn't do that. Bitcoin's just teleporting all the way up here to about $118,000. So where do we go from here? Where we go from here is Bitcoin has to reestablish market structure. It's almost a little bit weird because when Bitcoin breaks out like this, and any of you guys that are analysts, you will be able to relate to this. When Bitcoin breaks all-time high, it shatters all your paradigms. Everything you thought you knew about the market has to be rethought, because everything that you knew about the market was based in the context of the market structure that you had just left. And so with the market structure that we just left, having a top at 112,000, that means that we really have to kind of start rebuilding things. And so this is one of those areas where we need to give Bitcoin some time. We need to give Bitcoin some time here and see what it's going to do. Is Bitcoin going to show a lot of strength by just holding fast above 116? We're in blue sky breakout. There's nothing up here. We don't have maps. We don't have boundary lines. Bitcoin's got nothing up here. All we have right now is this falling wedge. This falling wedge could very easily break bullish, just like this. If the falling wedge breaks bullish, then that would give us a price target all the way up to $121,000. What I will say is this. It's difficult to tell what Bitcoin's going to do in the short term because we've just rallied so quickly, and the farther you rally, the more likely it is that we have a corrective movement around the corner. What I will say is that that is going to have to happen at some point, but do not underestimate the just absolute moonshot capabilities that Bitcoin has here. I would not be surprised at all to see Bitcoin maintain. Let's go out here to a cleaner chart because, my goodness, I mean, you click around to all my Bitcoin charts, every one of them is one chart, two chart, a third chart, a fourth chart. Okay, there we go. I had to go down to the fifth chart to find a clean chart. This is on the index, right? I would not be at all surprised to see Bitcoin maintain this uptrend. I think that this uptrend is going to be maintained, and I think that's where Bitcoin is going. I think Bitcoin is going to rally all the way up to it. And I think that that is going to lead to a rally up to about $140,000. I think that Bitcoin is going to maintain this exact trajectory right here on the log chart until the bear market. And there is also a very serious possibility that we just maintain this for years. If you extrapolate this, it actually isn't so steep that it's impossible. If you extrapolate this log channel here, by 2030, you're only looking at a $320,000 Bitcoin. It makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to be making content on this channel, right? It makes a lot of sense. Bitcoin could easily just bounce around in here. Beautiful. It could just bounce around in here. Drop 30% multiple times, 25 to 30% over and over. Could very easily just bounce around in there and teleport. Not teleport, but just continually rally all the way up to $300,000 by the end of this decade. We don't necessarily have to see a bear market. Now, I'm not going to say we're not going to. I think it would be asinine. I think it would be cataclysmically stupid to throw the 4-year halving cycle out yet, because the 4-year halving cycle has not been invalidated yet, and the trend is your friend until it ends. The 4-year halving cycle has not ended. There is still a very real possibility that Bitcoin goes to $150,000, maybe has another leg up to $200,000, and then it crashes and you do see a bear market. So don't throw the 4-year halving cycle out yet, but there is a possibility that it's done. We don't know that yet. We have no proof for that yet, but there is a possibility that it's dead. And the reason for that would be GLD. The gold ETF. I was explaining this to my wife yesterday. I'm like, honey, I need to explain something to you. Gold was the oldest precious metal market in the world in 2004, specifically mid-November of 2004, when the GLD ETF launched. In the first year, the GLD ETF saw a cumulative inflow of approximately $1.5 billion. In the first year, the Bitcoin ETFs saw an approximate inflows, cumulatively, of $38 billion. For you science whizzes out there, that's about 23 times larger. Like, wow, that's enormous. Call it 25 times more inflows in the first year. Gold, a far more mature market with far less inflows, rallied for 7 years straight, about 350% north. If Bitcoin, mind you, with better inflows, 20 times better inflows, and a market that is 20 times more immature, let's say Bitcoin only does the same thing that gold did. You extrapolate 7 years out and 350% to the upside, you're looking at a $300,000 Bitcoin you're looking at a $300,000 Bitcoin in 2030 to 2031. And that would fall right in the middle of that channel. Making sense to you? This is a theory that we're going to be spending a great deal of time on during probably the rest of the decade until it gets invalidated. If it gets invalidated, if this uptrending level of support breaks, then that's probably a bear market confirmation. But if we hold this channel, this trading channel, then that likely means that at some point before the end of the year, Bitcoin is going to rally all the way up to $150,000. And when we fall back on the correction, if we don't go through a bear market, then there's a very real possibility that you never see a sub $100,000 Bitcoin ever again. Because you only have until about the end of this year to see Bitcoin drop down below $100,000 and still be in this channel. Most likely, Bitcoin is going to rally and stair step up just like it's doing right now for the next 10 years. Might be a bear market, might not. I'm not going to act like there's no bear market, but there's very seriously a possibility that you never see a sub $100,000 Bitcoin ever again. It would already take an 18% drop, right? An 18% drop, Bitcoin can obviously do that. It's done that in a day plenty of times. But the farther the all-time high gets, the more unlikely it becomes. Right now, a sub $100,000 Bitcoin, sorry, not an 18% drop. I'm so sorry. An 8% drop. My apologies. Take about an 8% drop for Bitcoin to drop back below all-time high right now. At some point, you're going to get to 200,000, and for Bitcoin to go below 100,000, it's going to require a 50% drop. You're going to get to $250,000, and it's going to require a 70% drop. So my deal is this. Load up your Bitcoin stack. Invest in Bitcoin. Stop trying to time the market. That's what I'm doing. I'm buying. I love buying Bitcoin. We invest in Bitcoin. I don't care the price. I invest in Bitcoin. That's what I do. You know how many times I almost didn't buy Bitcoin on these highs? Look at this. People make fun of me. If I showed you all of my entries, some of you guys, when I made them, would have made fun of me. Said, oh, Jeb, you're so dumb. You bought it 109. Yeah, well, I also bought it 94. I mean, if you look at all my entries, I mean, first of all, we were buying literally almost every single day. But if you look at all my entries, they're kind of all over the place. It's not based on the short-term analysis. They're like all over the place. It looks like my chart has chicken pox, right? You know, they're all over the place. And some of them are really dumb. Some of them are really good. But all of them are in profit. And so the more that you enter into the market, so long as the market is not just absolutely insanely overbought, you're going to make money. And even if you do buy the market when it's insanely overbought, you're still going to make money if you just hold for a while, right? So if you look at the 3-daily chart, we got a bullish MACD cross coming in. You look at the RSI, haven't even gotten started, buddy. Like, we've got a lot of room to go. Break that downtrending level of resistance on the 3-daily chart RSI, off to the freaking races, man. You kidding me? You're going to go up to 80 to 82 on RSI. You look at the weekly chart, we're sitting above the 20. Look at the 3-daily chart, we're sitting above the 20. Look at the 2-daily chart, we're sitting above the 20. 1-daily chart, we're sitting above the 20. Monthly chart, the 20 is rocketing. Last 20 months average price for Bitcoin is $80,000 flipping dollars, right? You look at the weekly chart. You're about to see that breakout also here. Well, you are seeing it actually, a breakout of this downtrending level of RSI. You held the 14. This is the most obvious setup ever. You see the bullish engulfing candlestick. Is it too late to buy Bitcoin on the long term? No. That's the first and biggest message I want to give you today. Is it too late to buy Bitcoin on the long term? No, it is not too late to buy Bitcoin on the long term. Well, the other thing I will say is it's also not too late to buy Bitcoin, to buy altcoins, because the altcoins aren't doing squat right now. I mean, oh, come on. Ethereum's up. Let's see. Ethereum's up 15%. Great. Love it. Ethereum's going to go up a lot more than that. Ethereum's going to double. It's going to go to all-time high. You got to give it some time. Right now, I'm interested in buying more Bitcoin, but I'm going to be honest, I'm also interested in buying some altcoins. I'm interested in buying some altcoins. Said wait for a pullback? Absolutely, wait for a pullback. I'll buy the pullback too. I'll buy the pullback also. You know, we just keep buying. And the thing that I really want to encourage you guys is it's not about timing the market. When it comes to investing, now when you're trading, obviously it's timing the market. That's literally the whole point of trading. But when it comes to investing, it's not about timing the market. It's about being in the market, time in the market, right? Buy and hold. Buy and flipping hold. All right. Let's see. Jeb, should we keep all of our Bitcoin when the bear market starts? The only way I can answer your questions are by telling you what I'm going to do. I'm not selling a single sat just because a bear market's coming. Not happening. Not going to happen. I'm going to try and minimize my purchases of Bitcoin at a parabolic top because I'd like for them to have more than a 20% return in the next 5 years. Which is why I'm buying some Bitcoin here, but I'm a little skeptical. I've stacked very hard at 108. I was very proactive. I stacked a lot of Bitcoin at 105, 103, 108, 109, 110. Got some entries at 111. What we saw out of Bitcoin is that those entries looked dumb at the time, but now they're really good. I'm going to put some entries in at 118, but not as much as I was. I'm going to be a little bit more in cash. This is what I've been saying for a very long time. Luke Lauer in chat. Big shout out to Luke. How you doing, man? Luke's in chat because I texted him on the 3rd of July. And I get here's a sales pitch for the trading group. Let me just pull this up. Let me Luke. I'm about to share our messages here. I'm not gonna say anything you said. I'm just gonna share this. Let's see. Go back here. Where is it? I said, where was it? I said Bitcoin's about to rip. Where was it? Let's see. I'm sorry, Luke. I need to read your messages. I didn't realize you texted me. Let's see. Yep. Thursday, July 3rd at 3:03 p.m. Time is short. Bitcoin is about to explode. And Luke said, really? What makes you so sure? And I said, well, we'll see if I'm right. I said, just a hunch. We'll see. And I sent him a picture of the chart. And I said, look at that giant inverse head and shoulders pattern. And then I said, and here's a quote from myself on the 3rd of July, 8:12 p.m., points to 120K Bitcoin. Where are we trading? At 118K. I said nothing for sure, but the stars are all aligned. Looks like an inverse head and shoulders pattern. I am so very excited to share with you that Bitcoin is not done. Bitcoin is not done rallying. Bitcoin is not done rallying. There's a lot of room to go, and you're not too late. A lot of you guys, because I know a lot of you guys. I do financial coaching with you guys. I'm friends with some of you guys. Luke's my brother, right? I know, I understand what you're going through. It is not too late to get into Bitcoin. 10 years from now will not be too late to get into Bitcoin because Bitcoin's not done at 118,000, guys. Bitcoin's going to $1 million. I want to be known as the Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin guy. I need to rebrand myself. I don't want to be named Crypto Jeb anymore. I want to be named Bitcoin's going to $1 million guy. Bitcoin's going to $1 million. Oh, Jeb, that's not enough. I'm not going to make a big enough return on that. Really? You're not happy with 8xing your money in the next 9 years doing nothing but buying and holding? Buy Bitcoin, forget about it, come back in 10 years, and have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars because you decide to put money into Bitcoin. It is the greatest investment that you will ever get access to. Can you make more money in trading? If you're a good trader, yeah. Spending 16 hours a day doing it. You know, not really that much, but yes, you can make a lot of money in trading. I trade. That's why we trade, right? But if you're investing, here's the thing. Okay. Here's our whole system. I'm just going to peel back. I don't hide anything from you guys. One of the things I'm known for, I'm real. You want to know how I make money? My whole system. I'm going to just share it with you. Eventually, when we go into the bear market, nobody cares about Bitcoin anymore for like 2 years. I'm going to be doing a personal finance channel and explaining my whole system. But I'm just going to give you a top-down view. We have our business, right? We have our business. We sell courses. We have the trading group. We have the exchanges. We have different affiliates. All these things provide you value. You have signed up for them because you think they're valuable. You stay signed up for them, and that makes us money because I did the marketing for it, right? You leverage your influence. Not sorry. That's what we do. You signed up. You spent the money. Why? Because you think it's a valuable product. All the things that we do, pretty much all of them have refund guarantees, and you guys don't take them. We make money because we're entrepreneurs. I got to explain that to some of the socialists in chat who think that making money is a bad thing, right? I'm a capitalist. I'm not sorry about it. We have a business. It makes us money. I've spent the last 25,000 professional hours of my life working on the company. I should be compensated. I provided a lot of value to you guys, right? So that's how we make money. I turn that money around. I invest most of it into Bitcoin. Then we live off of a portion of it. And then obviously we have to set aside some for taxes. We make sure to maintain cash savings in the event of an emergency so that we don't have to touch our Bitcoin. I trade, and by trading, that ends up making money as well. And so all of these different revenue streams, I tax them, except I don't tax it and give it to Uncle Sam. I tax it and dump it into Bitcoin because if it's in cash, I can spend it. If it's in cash, I can spend it. I can go buy a car with it. I can go on a vacation with it. I can do this, that, and the third with it. I can go out to eat with it. But if it's in Bitcoin, I have a no-sell Bitcoin by until 2040 policy. If it goes into Bitcoin, it may have well gone into a black hole, and I don't see it again for 15 years. It might as well be in a time-delayed safe. Like, I'm that serious about it. I'm that serious about it. I don't even know if that's a thing. Is that a thing? I couldn't do that because you need to be able to get access to your wallets to maintenance them. But think about if you had a time-delayed safe installed in your house and you were not able to open that safe until 2040. That's what Bitcoin is for me. Any money that I don't need for operations, for paying employees, for taking care of my family, for taking care of my wife, any money that we don't need for paying taxes, any of that, which is a large portion of it, because I try and run very high profit margins. I mean, we're an online company. You're supposed to be able to do that, right? I just dump it into Bitcoin. Trading profits, dump them into Bitcoin. And I don't see them again until 2040. I'm going to wake up 40 years old. Some of my kids are going to be, my oldest child will be 20. My next child will be 18. My next child will be 17 and 16, right? I'm going to wake up in 2040. I'm going to have some teenagers. I'm going to have some grown kids. And we're going to have $50 or $100 million in Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going to be trading at $3-5 million a coin by then, right? And we're going to acquire a lot of Bitcoin in that time. That's our whole plan. That's the whole plan. It's that simple. You know, I was thinking last night, I'm thinking about getting in some multifamily real estate, guys. I'm thinking about buying like a quadplex or something. Not now, but maybe in a few years, right? I'm not ready for it. I could probably afford it right now, but not yet. But probably might end up adding some real estate into that portfolio for the sake of adding some cash flow. But that's the plan. And that's what you can do with Bitcoin. It is the most powerful financial tool that we have ever had. And the big part of the reason for that is because the upside is so obvious. It's not over. Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin. It really is. I truly believe that. That's why I bought the all-time high over and over and over again for the last several weeks. When Bitcoin was up here, 1%, 2%, 3% away from all-time high. I'm buying the daylights out of it. Buying it like crazy. That psychological level of support at 100,000 is just incredible. Bought a crazy amount of Bitcoin, and you can too. You can make life-changing wealth in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And also, here's the other thing. Here's what I'm looking at now. This is what I'm considering now. I want to look at the alts because the alts are getting left behind. They're almost at max pain. I got to find the chart. I can't find the chart, but I got to find the chart. There's a chart that shows it. Let's see. Let's just look at market dominance. That's a good one. Excuse me. Sorry. Bitcoin's market dominance climbing ever higher. Look at the last 1 year. Last year, it's up to 63, 64%. That's not going to keep going forever. These altcoins are going to turn around, and there is going to be an alt season. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fabulous. And so there is a place to say, you know, let's look into some altcoins. So I'm thinking about putting some money into altcoins. Thinking about putting this into some altcoins. Only realize one thing, that there is no spoon. Exactly. You've got it on lock. Dude, there won't be a bear market. Why would there be? No, that's absolutely something that you need to consider. Is there very well may not be a bear market. There really might not be. It's too early to say that with confidence, but it is possible. The same people who say it's too late to invest in Bitcoin are the same ones that said it wasn't going to be worth anything when it was under 1K. Yep, and they missed out on the easiest 100x in the history of the world. Should we keep all of our Bitcoin when the bear market starts? I am. I'm going to buy more. But you got to realize, I don't care. I got to do the whole glasses off thing. I got about 5 minutes and I got to wrap it out. I don't care what my entry is. I don't care. Oops. I do not care. I don't care. I realized this late last year. I don't care what my entry is. Because one day it's going to be higher. I don't care. Do I try and get a good entry? Absolutely. Of course I do. You better believe when Bitcoin dropped down to 98 and it's right there in front of me, I took it. I put thousands of dollars into Bitcoin at 98. Yeah. But do I really care all that much what my entry price is? Not really. I more so care about the fact that I have a certain amount of Bitcoin. What I track is not what my average entry price is, although our average entry price is great and I love it. I track how many Bitcoin do I have. I don't think about it like this. How do I get the lowest entry? I think about it like this. How do I get the most Bitcoin for the least amount of money? That's how I think about it. And that seems like a minuscule difference, but it actually makes all the difference because I'm no longer worried about the fiat value of the portfolio because time will take care of that for me. What I'm worried about is how much Bitcoin do I have? You got to parse those out. You got to stop worrying about the idea of how do I get the lowest entry possible. You got to start thinking about, I want as much Bitcoin as possible. How do I get to the next milestone on Bitcoin as soon as possible? That's how you have to think about it. And so right now, I don't think to myself, oh man, I'm getting a bad deal on Bitcoin. I'm thinking to myself, it's going to take me a little bit longer to get to my next Bitcoin, to get the next coin. It's going to take a little bit longer because it's now $118,000 a coin instead of 108. Or you know, you might not be that you're working in hundredth of a coin's increments. That's fine. It's totally fine. Having a tenth of a Bitcoin is life-changing money. Maybe you're working in tenth of a coin increments. I want to get to my next tenth of a coin. That's going to be $18,000. That's going to take me longer now than it would have, but I'm still going to work towards it. And so, really highly encourage you guys to just get as much as you can. Mike Steele said afternoon, man. Vincent Aurelius said, love your conviction, Jeb. Thanks for all your knowledge and insights. Yeah, I just to show you all of our conviction, I'll just go ahead and be totally honest. I actually bent one of our principles. I teach you guys to save 3 to 6 months of emergency funds. I actually was so confident that Bitcoin was going to rally up here, I deployed most of our emergency fund. And right now, I'm buying Bitcoin, but I'm also restocking our emergency fund. I was so confident that Bitcoin was going to break above $100,000. We had about a little over $100,000 in the emergency fund, plus another 100 and some change on top of that. I deployed basically all of our cash. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Cosplaying as General Grievous today. Sorry, I couldn't get to the mute button quick enough. I actually deployed our emergency fund now, borrowed against it, if you will, and I'm refilling it now because I'm that confident that Bitcoin was going to break all-time high. And so, very, you know, I'm happy with that. It was a risk, but that's what an entrepreneur does. They take risk. You take risk, but you need to know dang well what you're doing. I do. I know what I'm doing, and Bitcoin was going to break 112. It was obvious. So yeah, bought $200 worth of Bitcoin today. DCA, love it. Dollar cost average, baby. Do it. All right, guys, we're going to. Sorry about that. We're going to have to wrap it out, but I highly encourage you to check out our Discord server if you have not already. Got people signing up over there. I'd love for you to join it. You can sign up by going to the link in the description box down below and joining the first cohort. You can get it for $335 a year, or for about $42 a month if you use coupon code JEB20. Or you can sign up for Toobit with the link in the description box down below. Deposit $100 on Toobit. It's still your money. Like it's your money. Just move $100 onto Toobit, start trading over there, and then you can get access to our Discord server as well. Very excited to see you guys getting involved in the community. Make sure to get involved in the community, sign up for Toobit, get started trading over there. And also, guys, don't forget, the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy is on sale. If you want to learn how I've done all this technical analysis that's led to all this success that we've had, how we were able to predict this breakout, and we've been predicting it for months, how we predicted it a day before it happened, how we traded it. If you want to learn all of that about how to do technical analysis and succeed in the cryptocurrency space, I highly recommend the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, CT2A. You can currently get it for a little under $480 because the coupon code JEB20, JEBB20, is active, and you're going to get access to a bunch of videos teaching you how to use depth charts and stop limits, how to use TradingView. This is a big video, 35-minute long video to teach you how to use TradingView, how to read candlestick charts if you're new to technical analysis, how to spot a winning indicator and pattern, how to see what's actually going to work and what's not. You know, your golden crosses and death crosses, gauging the strength of support and resistance to know whether Bitcoin's about to break through a level of resistance or not. Like last night, I was actively trading, right? I was down here on the minute chart. I could see that Bitcoin had a lot of strength. Where's my chart? Where's my chart? Here it is. I could see that Bitcoin had a lot of strength, right? Strength. Gauging the strength of the bulls and the bears. There's the teaching for it. I could also see that this resistance was very weak. Gauging the strength of support and resistance. I could see there was weak resistance, strong bulls. That equals a breakout, which equals a trade opportunity. You can see how the things that you're going to learn in the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy are going to teach you how to succeed in markets. Ooh, here's another one that I was using last night. Short versus long-term technical analysis. Last night, I'm thinking in my head, where are we going to go on Bitcoin? It looks like, based on the strength of the bulls and the weakness of the resistance, that Bitcoin's going to break out. We're in blue sky breakout territory, so I got to look for long-term clues. How far is this breakout going to take us? We found resistance at $118,000 to $120,000 on our long-term TA. So I incorporated that in my short-term TA. And last night, I had a feeling we were going to break out here. We were going to rally up to about 118,000. We rallied to 119,000, right? We were able to do all of that because of what we've been teaching for almost a decade in CT2A. If you have not already, sign up for CT2A, the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy, with the link in the description box down below. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's stream, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more content. Video will be coming out this afternoon detailing exactly how to continue succeeding in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space. Share this stream with somebody that you want to succeed in crypto. Sign up for CT2A, sign up for Toobit, and also sign up for the first cohort trading group. I am very excited to get that off the ground. You can get in for free just by signing up for Toobit and depositing $100. I really appreciate you all for being here. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real